Alright, welcome back. I'm Mikey.
I'm Nate.
And we're here to help you
improve your balance.
Alright, so we are on the second video we're making from the Stand Tall, Don't Fall video by Bill Case. And this is all about posture. So he does a really good job of using posture as a lens into health and shows how it helps us with balance and fall prevention as well. So a little quotation that I found from him here. Without proper postural awareness, ligaments tighten up, muscles become weakened, joints wear out, and nerves become inflamed. Left unattended, this altered position will usually result in a painful and unhealthy posture. Alright, so we want to help you change that. Alright, stand tall, feel that confidence, that mood change with it, and enjoy the benefits of decreased injury and improved healing.
It's amazing whenever somebody talks about posture, don't you automatically kind of like sit up just a little bit taller?
Posture.
He's got great posture, this guy. So it's really, it's always a reminder, especially for me, if I'm sitting at a computer or something like that, I always find myself going like this. So I have to constantly work on opening up my posture. But I've gotten to the point where I really can feel the difference, and I really prefer the feeling of opening my body, of having good posture. So that's where you want to get to, is where it doesn't feel unnatural, it actually feels even better. That's when you've really got it.
Yeah, and I struggled with that long time, as I was always trying to sit up straight with back injuries, and eventually it was just like, you can just get to there and just relax. And that's what we wanted. We want to be comfortable to be in a good position. And it takes time, so doing this consistently, it'll make a difference, but you just have to stick to it.
So we've got just 6 quick exercises for you. So if you're ready, you're gonna need a balance pad. So these things you can get on Amazon. We've got links to them. They're basically just foam squishy pads, and they really help with making it a little more challenging when you're standing, so that your ankles wobble a little more. They're really worth it, so go ahead and pick one up. And I think that's it. And then a chair as well, if you'd like to use that too. So go ahead and clear some space, and we're gonna start with heel to toe walks. So just, clear out a little room, or you can go up and down the hallway, and simply start with your feet close together, and then just step one foot right in front of the other, just like you're on a tightrope. And heel to toe, and just go ahead and start walking in any direction.
If you want to have some sort of, prop around you to make sure that, you always have a point of stability if you need. You can always take it off the ground, all right?
Yeah, balance bars are nice because they're light and they've got a little traction. So go ahead and go heel to toe, and if you want a challenge, you can do it backward and use your hands if you like. For more of a challenge, you can put your hands on your hips. Do check that you're not going to trip on anything, okay? Clear the area first. No surprises here. Yeah. This can be quite challenging. Even if you think you have really good balance, I'll tell you, if you close your eyes, you're going to be a beginner again. So you can always make it more challenging. Try to walk that line, as it were, right on the edge of your balance, but not so far that you feel like you're unsafe. But you do want to feel like you're challenging yourself.
Look around a little bit, up and down, side to side.
And you're really going to see those 3 strategies that we all use to improve to counter our balance. So either the ankles have to work, the ankle strategy, the hip strategy, or if you really have to go far, your foot will come out and you're going to step, the step strategy. So you're going to see all 3 of these, and you want to be confident in all of them. You want to be able to fine-tune your balance and as well recover quickly if you need to. All right, so there you go. So that's the heel to toe walk. And it can be done anywhere, and again, try to incorporate these into your life. If you're, walking in the grocery store, why not try going heel to toe a little bit, you don't have to put your finger on your nose unless you want to get some strange looks, but you can start to practice these anytime, anywhere.
Nice. And so, another good way to move, all right, a lot of times it's just forward, sometimes backwards, but just sideways, all right? So the next one is just a little sideways walk. A little crab walk.
Yeah, you can add a little
up and down.
Peep-dee.
Yeah, notice your head movement, all right? You can keep the legs far apart and just have a wide base shuffle. All right, you can bring the feet all the way together. All right, so change it up. You just go slower. Slower is going to make it really nice and challenging, that good weight shift. All right, reaching over, slowly shifting, reaching. All right, nice and controlled. Good.
Yeah, if you really hover right before you lift off and right before you sit down, you're going to feel those outer hip muscles, which are so important for that hip strategy to pull you back into center. Really important that those are strong and stable. Another challenge is actually, instead of bobbing up and down, is you go low and you try to keep your head level. And that really requires you to work a little harder. This one, if you do it in the grocery store, you'll definitely get some strange looks. But we're trying to make this popular.
And notice your posture too. When you stand up a little taller. All right, when I think about posture, I really think about my belly button forward. Or I'm not leaning backwards into it, but really you want to get that, kind of tuck your tailbone backwards, all right, and your stomach forward, all right, to help get that arch in the lower back. Most people have lower back pain because it's over at bend. All right, and so we want to counter it the other way. We're going to get that mobility so we can get our belly buttons forward or get that navel over our hips.
Yeah, especially with this side to side, sometimes people tend to kind of squat and hunch like this. We're actually trying to avoid that. So one way you can do it is also to bring your hands behind your back, and then as you do it, that pulls your shoulders back and opens your chest, and that keeps your upper body in good posture as you're working on strengthening your lower body.
And shake it out. All right. So another ever important one, if you go to the doctor's office and you ask them about your balance, and they'll make you do the stand up and go test. So we want to make sure that we can get out of a chair nice and easily. All right, if you can stand out of a chair without your hands, that's a really good sign. All right, if you have to use the chair a little bit, see if you can just use a couple of fingers on the sides. All right, and if you have to put your hands on your knees to come forward, all right, that's sort of the the least challenging, all right, and something that we want to be able to avoid, because once we go like this, our posture changes, we start to come up, and then we can just go forward, all right? So we really want our energy to be going up when we stand up.
Yeah, so focus on sit to stand, and for a challenge, you can do it with your arms crossed, but there are different versions. As Mike was saying, you could use armchair or lightly, but we don't want to do sit to fall. We want to do sit to stand. So don't lean too far forward, okay? So go ahead and pick a number. You might want to choose 10 or 15. Give yourself a challenge. And another way to make it more challenging, if you're not finding it hard enough, is to bring your feet closer together. Simply narrowing your base of support will make this a little more challenging. And slow it down too. Really control your way, not just on the up part, but really control and slowly lower yourself back down. Nice, and see about that posture, so double check, right? Because sometimes you might be sitting and all of a sudden you've just rounded and hunched again. So even as you're standing up and sitting down, keep the upper body just about the same, nice and tall.
And if you have a cane or something too, that can be helpful, all right? Keeping that posture so that you're pulling yourself up. It's more of a natural motion with a little bit of assistance.
Yeah. Another challenge is to raise the arms, and you can do a little back extension down the top for a little bonus. Feels really nice to strengthen the legs and then to lengthen the spine. Alright, so if you've gotten to 10 or 15, if you've gotten to that point where you feel like about 85% fatigue, then you're good. So that's your sit to stands, and that's the first part of the stand up and go test. So this is a really important factor to check your balance.
Nice. So we're going to get friends with the ground here. So hopefully you still have your chair near you. All right, come slowly to the ground. We're going to do some planks. So this is where these boards or these pads can make a difference too. If your knees hurt on the ground, all right, that can help. If your wrists hurt, you can put your hands sort of on the edge of it, all right, change the angle a little bit, all right, and you can also, sometimes people on their fists are easier on their wrists, but just notice that, all right, and we're going to just go into a sort of a classic plank position, all right, where it's, maybe there's just room for one of us here, so go on, Nate be my trusty model here. All right, and so we're gonna try and get into a position. You can have your knees on the ground, all right, but just trying to keep a nice straight posture. So it's, you know, hips to shoulders through his neck is all in a line, all right. And if you can bring your knees off the ground, we're gonna go. It's gonna go ankle, hip, shoulder, head, all in line. Okay, his head's not dropping, all right. It's not coming up. The middle of his back isn't sinking, all right. So find your ability if you need your knees on the ground, if you want to go back and forth, all right?
Yeah, and really the most common problems, as he said, is you're going to see your head drop, or some people try to look up. You also don't want to do that, so think of that nice long spine. And sometimes it's hard to tell, and if you have one of these bars, the balance bars here, this is actually something you can use to check your alignment by bringing it against your 3 parts of your back, so your sacrum, your upper back, and the back of your head. And so if you have a friend, hold it there, and then you can start off with your knees down, and you'll notice, like you can see, oh, the head's not touching, the head needs to go back, or the back is rounding, it needs to straighten more, or the pelvis is tilting. You're going to see these 3 parts of your spine all of a sudden come into alignment because you can't usually see it. And then all of a sudden, then when you get into your plank, you feel the power of having good alignment. Right.
Nice. Yeah, so take breaks, you know, usually 30 seconds to a minute is good with these. If you like to do side planks, it's a little more challenging, but it'll help, you know, strengthen the side of you there.
Alright, so yeah, afterward do a little stretch if you need to, a child's pose or something. So yeah, planks are fantastic for getting that core strength that you need to keep good posture.
And so we use the term make friends with the floor a lot because ultimately when we do fall, which we all do, all right, you're going to end up on the ground. And if you're not comfortable on the ground, the odds that you get to the ground without an injury are much less likely. So you really want to make sure that you're able to get to the ground comfortably, you know, at least for, you know, a couple of seconds, all right, so you're not rigid when you're having that impact. You're sliding, you're relaxing, and you're not, you know, stiff and getting injured. So as we make friends with the ground, we just want to be able to make sure we can reach it. So if you have a small item, it recommends, you know, using a ball of some sort or your glasses. All right, we're just trying to touch the floor, all right, and then pick up that item again. All right, so using good posture. All right, so when I reach for the floor, I usually have, you know, one hand on a leg, all right, to support me, but I'm trying to keep that arch in my back. All right, I'm not leaning over with it. All right, I'm bending, you know, from my legs. All right, and getting low first. All right, and instead of reaching with the upper back, you know, we're using our legs, all right, to get to the floor. All right, so
yeah. Another strategy you can use is to have one foot slightly in front, so it's almost like a lunge, and then you can bend down and then pick it up like that, almost like a linebacker in football, right? You see them like this. So that's kind of one strategy too, because you have a really wide base of support and you're less likely to tumble, and if you do, your hand is actually right there to catch you, or your knee.
Yeah, you're reaching within your center of gravity. You're not reaching for something in front of you, it's just underneath you. So definitely a good strategy there.
Yeah, and make it kind of an exercise. So if you're comfortable with it, pick a number 10 or 15 times and try to do it more rapidly. You know, just like you're at the gym and you're lifting weights, even without a heavy weight, just that movement itself is really important. So you can try switching hands, you can try using more legs or more back, or a wider stance or a narrower stance. So try different versions too, get comfortable with it.
And then when you come up, really try to notice if you're coming all the way up, all right, getting that good posture, or if it's just a partial up. Standing up, reaching down. You can use this to just clean your house, double up, start picking up items you see that maybe you wish weren't there. This is your chance.
That's right. Yeah, it's always good to incorporate your exercise into your daily routines. It really makes all the difference.
And it can help prevent injuries. You know, we usually get injured, not necessarily when we're exercising, but when we're doing similar things and we're not using the good form that we might use at the gym. All right, so notice next time you have to pick something up. All right, are you keeping good posture? Are you using your legs? Are you doing all the, you know, pretty common advice that people get, so just keep it in mind.
Okay, so last one we're doing today is with your balance pad. So if you don't have one of these, you can do it with just a pillow or a folded blanket, something like that. But I do recommend getting one. They're really handy, and there's so many things you can do with it. So we're gonna just work on, first of all, just standing, and do find a wall or use a balance bar or grab onto somebody if they look stable, and you can, use a little extra support there if you need it.
All right, so we're gonna try, if standing on this is comfortable, or we're gonna try to go for one leg, all right, for 30 seconds at a time. All right, so if you can figure out a leg you want, make sure you have something to support you. If you feel like you're gonna to fall and need to put down, all right, definitely put your foot down if you need to. All right, so foot up and go. And keep that nice posture. Try to stand really tall while we do this.
It's a lot harder with the balance pad. All right.
And 30.
So 30 seconds.
Yeah. So shake it out. Now other foot. Figure out where your wall, where your extra support is if you need it. All right. We're gonna raise the other leg. 30 seconds and go.
Yeah, and if you're at all concerned, do this in front of the couch. So if you have to fall backward, the couch will be right there to catch you. If you're a real hot shot, if you need to close your eyes to make it more challenging, that's one way you can do that too. But most of us don't need to close the eyes here. This is hard enough. Right? But you do want to find that wobble. If you're not finding your wobble yet, try to make it a little more challenging. The wobble is where it's at. That's how your balance improves. Hands on hips makes it a little harder. Lifting the leg higher makes it a little harder. Make sure you're still breathing too.
And time.
All right.
So yeah, do a couple more sets of those if you want. That's it for the exercises today. This was the second of 6 videos, so check back for more advanced practices. We're gonna go through flexibility as well as strength, all right? So ramping those up. And check out this book, Bill Case. He's got really interesting information in there. It's called Stand Tall, Don't Fall. We've got plenty of resources on our website, balanceforlife.com. So head over that way, check out the different pages, send us a comment, let us know what you think, and share this video. Really, if we don't share this information, it's not going to help people. So it's really up to you to get it out there, all right, and stick with it. So. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I'm Mikey.
I'm Nate.
And until next time,
stay balanced, my friends.